Well, hey everybody, this is JT at Rubber City Motoring. It's winter. I wanted to give a little Impala update, do a little work on it here. As you can see, we have somewhat of a mess, but that's okay. Got a new addition to the garage. The kids got a Jurassic Park Jeep for Christmas. Today we're going to focus though on these headlights on the Impala. I absolutely love these things. They came out in a time which I don't want to say was, to me, I didn't own this car when this came out. My father purchased these headlights for this car. They were from FocuzTech, the SStreetlights as they're called. Very sought after now. And I mean, they were in different configurations, different colors. You could get it to match your cherry metallic. You get all sorts of stuff. They had halo rings. They had all this stuff. He basically bought them because the stock headlights aren't exactly the best. Now, with that being said, these things scare me to death being on here because if they break, that's it. I mean, they're not making these anymore. So I'm going to take these off here, and I want to show you what I'm going to replace them with, and we'll go from there. I think it's going to clean up the front end and make it look a little newer, you know, the whole thing. But I'm going to kind of compare, show you how these were built, how they're made, and kind of get into it here. But first step is taking these off, and you can see my car's a driver. There's chips, there's nicks, there's things like that. It doesn't look too bad though. As you can see, I did a quick Meguiar's Ultimate Wash and Wax Anywhere on the hood, which is a nice little product if you're stuck in the garage like me. So here we go, taking these off now. Okay, so quick cut, they're out. These are them. And if you know anything about these lights, these were purchased, let me set this down before I break them. I have the receipt here. These were purchased back when my dad owned the car, and they've been on there since he bought them February of 08. So I'm guessing they went on, you know, in the spring there and ready to go in the summer because this car was parked in the snow. It never saw snow, never saw winter. Just go over a few of these things here because this is kind of, in all honesty, I think it's going to be lost after a while. You know, people see these, they're not sure what they are. So if you're ever looking for these, this is kind of the skinny from a purchase. They were the SStreetlight base package, 4 headlamps, side marker, marker, turn signals, harness, and turn signal adapters. So what that means is, not the stock bulb or the stock headlight had one bulb that did both high and low beam. I'm not going to get into the wiring because that's for you guys if you're into this thing. So don't, you know, you can tell me I'm wrong or whatever, but you know, that's when I was taking these apart and taking these off the car, I'm like trying to remember how it goes because I've never owned the car with stock headlights. They're in a box in my dad's attic, so I got to get them out and you know, see how they go and all that. But basically what I've learned is the stock headlight was one bulb. This is 2, and these are H9s, 12 volt 65 watt bulbs in there. You can see the Hella housings in there, and then there's also the turn signal marker there, which that I believe also says, I don't know if that says Hella or not, but that's in there as well. That's your parking light, your running light, whatever you want to call it, and also your blinker right there. So there was different options, and I have that here too, which I wanted to go over just for fun. I mean, I have all the notes, everything. So low beam, high beam, that was included in the base. Background color, they had the option, which my printout here, as you can see, it was this was printed in 08, and we should have done it landscape, but you could get it unfinished. These are actually were finished in gloss black, and I just kind of had them apart cleaning them and stuff. It's like a satin black. I wouldn't say it's like the best paint job in there, but you know, I've seen these in chrome, and you could have got them in the dark green gray, the cherry metallic, all those different colors inside there. There was also the devil eyes with the 2 S's, eyes halo rings. That was something my dad did not opt for. The auxiliary LED marker lamp, and that is, there's actually a spot in these. You can see that spot down there, a lot of these had like a running lamp, something in there that would be, you know, basically tied into the same circuit there as the, I mean, you could modify them however you wanted to, but the way these were was, if you look back here, my setup here, it's not hooked up, and that would have hooked up to your running light. And, you know, speaking of the wiring here, this actually is just a bulb socket they have set up, and that goes into the parking lamp socket on the car. And then this right here split off of the one headlight output, and it went to the two there. So kind of a neat housing, I'd say. Back in the day when these were available and for sale, and I'm kicking myself now because we had them, like, you know, my dad was driving it, I didn't own the car, but he was always telling me we should get some more lenses for these things, which, you know, I had them sitting there in the cart. I think they were like $50 or maybe like $40 for just a set of spare lenses. I wish I'd have bought 100 of them at this point. But, you know, because that's one of the areas that takes the beating, and one bad rock on this, it's trash. So you kind of have to be careful with those. Now, the other thing that we found over the years was this thing, like I said, it never really saw bad weather or anything, so they're in really nice shape. But I'm guessing if you left these out in the sun long term, they aren't OE quality. I mean, they're not like a factory part. I mean, that you can tell the beads of, you know, RTV on there that were put on there when they were new. I mean, this is all exactly how they came. Very nice, though, that, you know, all this was done properly. It was put on. You could adjust the lights on the back here with the screws. That's pretty neat. But, you know, for the most part, a nice little aftermarket option for the time. And you have people saying now that these lights aren't as good as what's currently out there and this and that, but, you know, it is what it is. So, and I mean, I have 25 pages here, different things that, you know, I'll show you this one here. You can see that whole deal there. So lots of stuff going on with these. You know, it says release 2007. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. But, you know, the final word in this was, when I got the car a number of years ago, like 4 or 5 years ago, I reached out. I found the guy who made him. His name was Mike. I assume he's still around. I don't know. And I kind of like was talking with him. I said, hey, man, I'd like to get some lenses run. You know, I can get a group of guys going. And if you were in the Impala forum back then, this is before like all the Facebook groups and stuff I found. I had roughly, I was going to get a couple sets. I had some people in for a few sets. I think it was like 25 sets we were going to get run. And it looked positive. It was like, you know, yes, this is the piece that everybody needs. And he you know, he was cool about it. Said, yeah, let's get this going. I'll get some pricing and that. And then when I came to him with the final number of how many people, he came back with, I can't find the molds. That's it. So it was a done deal. Like, that's it. So they're not making these anymore. That is it. And I mean, unless somebody comes up with these housings, something like that, I mean, it's it. Which I think people would buy these now if you had them in that price range. These were, if I didn't already say it, $699 in 2008. And that's the base package. That's not even the halos, the running lights. I mean, you could probably get close to $1,000 by the time this whole thing was done. And $699 in today's money, if you factor inflation, that's like, you know, about $850 or so. So it wasn't a cheap investment, but the lighting power was so much better over stock. So the reason I'm taking these off and getting rid of them is mostly because of the we'll say the value in them. I mean, this one bad rock on this thing and they're trash. I mean, that's it. I mean, you might be able to fix these lenses. I've heard people getting eBay lights and putting those lenses on. That's cool and all, but really makes me nervous. So they're going to go to a new home here very soon. But that is the this SStreetlights by FocuzTech. I'm just kind of figured I'd do a video here. So if you ever wanted to take a look at what these consist of, that's it. Okay, so what I'm doing now is, let me show you. The car kind of has nothing on it right now. Not a thing. And that's because I am working to get, before I don't drop these things here, these going in there. And I don't want to say these are going to be an improvement, a downgrade, or anything, you know, whatever. But They are super clear. I dig the look of them for now, better than stock. And these right here run roughly, I think, 120, 130 bucks. I'll put a link down below. And I'm going to mess with some lighting options with this, some LEDs, some different things like that, just to see what's what. These ones, if a rock hits it, somebody, you know, backs into my car, I am not out, you know, $1,000, because the streetlights are not cheap and they are not replaceable. They almost like, imagine driving around with $1,000 cash on the front of your car, and, you know, anything could come up and ruin it. So I'm going to give these a go here. Just take a look at these. I'll link these below, like I said, and, you know, kind of show you a final product. But overall, a nice upgrade over stock. I kind of dig the tinted. We'll see if that affects my nighttime visibility. I don't drive a ton at night, actually, so I'm not too worried. That's kind of why, you know, my dad opted for the street lights here, because he did a lot of traveling with work for this car, and he drove it at night and just traveled with it. So he needed something to light up the road better than the stockers, but you can tell almost the clarity in the lenses too versus new and here. So that's pretty much it on the lights there. If you have any questions, comment below. As of now, and I'm guessing by the time this video is posted, they're sold. So if you're wondering about them, I'm gonna guess they're probably sold by the time you watch this. Debating on what grill to do. I have a stock black grill. I have the billet here. It's got some chips and things, but I don't know. It's kind of looking to go with a different look on the front end here and see what's what. So, but thank you for watching. We will see you next time here. There's more to come on this car for sure. It's getting nice out. Finally start driving it, and got some news about what's going to happen with it, what's going to happen here in the garage. So subscribe if you're not already a subscriber. Thanks for watching, and hopefully you enjoyed this view of the SS Streetlights by FocuzTech. So see you next time.